Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China, and today we're going to show you some grappling concepts for MMA. Some ways that striking and grappling for MMA are different than, say, striking for kickboxing or grappling for just wrestling. Okay, one of those, and I ran into this problem the other day. I did some sparring, I did 7 rounds of kickboxing, I'm up in this Muay Thai long guard, high guard sort of thing, and then I did 3 rounds of MMA sparring. And everybody kept getting under me, getting those underhooks, because I was so in the zone of this high guard position. Now, Michael's a wrestling coach, very experienced wrestler. Now, if we're in a fight, like an MMA fight, and my guard's up here, right? What's your first instinct?
See, I look at this whole area, and I think this is a lovely place to hit you.
Yeah,
so I'm
here,
either
do it.
Come in, lock on, grab on, no problem.
Yeah, that's all kinds of handles there. Now, there are different ranges, 3 ranges you should know in striking. One, outside of the pocket, where we're both just a little bit too far away to hit each other. Or we can move into a toe-to-toe range where our feet are just close to each other. You'll notice the feet right there as well. Right now, I'm close enough to hit him with my weapons. He's close enough to hit me with his weapons. Right, but it's not quite grappling range. And then there's in the pocket. All right, now Michael's in a southpaw position, I'm in an orthodox. That means our feet are overlapped. If we're both in the same stance, that means our feet are overlapped this way. Or if we were both orthodox, you're going to switch stance.
Sure.
Now our feet are overlapped this way. So that's in the pocket. And this is a range where grappling happens, as well as uppercuts, hooks, shovel hooks, knees, elbows, etc. Right? So our stance has to change continuously depending on the range of combat. Again, if I'm way out here, sure, I can do a high guard, but I've got to be prepared to adjust instantly. I want to talk a little bit about the Philly shell. So I'm going to do it from this side. Philly shell in MMA, weird, right? People usually think of the Philly shell as something used from out here to roll with the punches right here. So maybe he's throwing a punch in my chin as opposed to getting clipped in the chin. I can use my shoulder to roll that. I can use, this hand to block. I can start bobbing and weaving from here, right? But what else can we do with that Philly shell if I get in the pocket? Okay, what's happening here, whether I'm in this stance or this stance? This lead arm being down creates the opportunity to check his grappling, okay? So if I put pressure on him, I get in here close, and he reaches for anything, there's an underhook, right? Maybe he reaches for a collar tie. Underhooks, right? Maybe he reaches for a leg. Underhooks.
Yeah.
So I want you to do that same thing. Get like in a Philly shell and just crowd me. Put some pressure on me, right? So if I start reaching for anything, leg, arm, underhook, etc. Again, you've got this frame. Yeah, to get whichever handles, whichever grips you want. Okay, so again, this is one thing I really like to do. I'm going to change the stance outside the pocket. I got a long guard, a high guard, maybe something more like an English boxing stance, right? Or a Muay Thai stance, or a karate stance. Okay, but as soon as I get in here, I'm going to make this frame. I'll also use this in boxing for this express purpose as well. I know there's no takedowns in boxing, but what there is stalling by means of clinching, right? Maybe we're over here in the corner, right? And, I feel like I'm winning this fight. I've got him trapped in the turnbuckle, right? And he wants a break. So he grabs, he holds on. There's no hitting inside the clinch in boxing, so the referee comes over, separates us. He gets some space, he gets some breathing room that I don't want him to have, right? So what do I do instead? Right, I notice he's trying to clinch up. I move into that Philly shell here, grab something, and now I've got this frame where I can keep that action going. So I've essentially made myself wider. Okay, so if he brings the hands around the body this way, okay, and I'm in a position like this, making myself wider. So we're talking about boxing right here specifically. So here, just reach around the body, get a body lock. Okay. I've made myself a little too wide to grab. Now, as far as wrestling or MMA goes, right? Now, there's stuff you can do here, but look, it creates holes and openings for some takedowns. So Michael, you were teaching some concepts along these lines in the wrestling class this last weekend. Could you go over that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. First and foremost, Philly shell is actually fantastic transition boxing style for wrestlers too. You taught me it. I use it a lot. So yeah. Now sometimes the opponent may still get under you. They still may get under you. So in this situation, what happens a lot is people are going to panic. They're going to panic and they're going to be like, oh no, what do I do? First and most important thing is you don't stand up, okay? You maintain a strong stance here, okay? If you weaken your stance, they are going to muscle you and throw you down, or maybe even, God, unfortunately, they're going to suplex you, okay? You don't want that. So from here, the first thing you got to do is you got to not panic, and you got to stay low in your stance, okay? You got to stay in the stance position.
Yeah, already it's much harder to hold on to. I had to switch from a tight gable grip to a looser S grip.
Yeah. Now from here, it's really quite simple. Now this is not a good situation, but it is defendable. It's quite defendable. So all you need to do is you take these two claws you got, put them underneath. That's it. You underhook and latch under. That's all you got to do. Now from here, there's two steps. One, if he's loose already, you can just strike with your shoulder and get your both your legs back. Like so. See? Breaks the hold. You're safe. Now, let's say my opponent is quite strong. He's got a very tight bear hug on me. So don't worry. This is where your knuckles come in. You take your knuckles, any of them, however you prefer to fit them in, and you press in, okay, into their chest here, nice and tight. Now, an experienced fighter is not going to feel super imposed by this. Like, he's not going to move that much, but he will move a bit. He'll move a bit.
Yeah.
And that's the point. It's enough. It's enough so you can use your shoulder to hit him. Like so. That's why you do it, okay? This isn't the magical press out, okay? This is just giving you enough breathing space so you can use your shoulders and your legs, so you're using your entire torso to break the grip. So when he comes in, he's nice and tight. I come in, I dig into his chest with my knuckles or my bones here. Then I, boom, break down here. Oh, look at that, there's a leg. I can take it, okay?
Yeah, that initial movement, it's really just a matter of an inch or two. Again, I'm not moving because it's like, ow, this hurts. It's just he's putting a wall that I can't move through in between me and him to give him enough space to get that shoulder check and create even more space.
Yeah. So it depends on the fighter's experience. If it's an inexperienced fighter, yeah, they may just break apart because they don't like the sensation. If it's an experienced fighter, they're just going to move an inch, but that's all you need so you can break. See, it's a jerk that I'm doing. It looks like this. So without a partner, it's like this, press, boom, like that, okay? Yeah. So again, come in, press, boom, and then boom. Look, all this fun stuff is available. Now, if he's still strong, all you have to do is go into the defense position, which is where you take your left hand, put in the inner thigh, like so. Works both sides, but because I am right-handed and I'm doing right-handed wrestling, it's best I do it from here. He has no leverage. This is a fantastic frame. And then you can just wait it out if you're tired or you want to reposition and push out and do striking, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Cool. Thanks, Michael. And thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.
Go train.